Hello everyone, and welcome to the Nethergreen podcast. Welcome back. It's been a long time.
For you. It's not been that long for me. I recorded one down all the time.
Oh shit, when?
Before we went to Cambridge, they were here the night before. Did I
Oh,
tell
I
you
see.
about that?
That is still fair. That's still.
It's still a fair amount of time, but it's been longer for you. It's been over a year.
It's been over a year for me. Yeah. Well, there would have been one released, but we recorded it on iPhones, and
it's terrible. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to quickly make a point out to the audience. We're all currently shirtless right now.
Yeah.
And I can't help but notice that I've got a lot more chest hair than you. Do you both shave your chests?
I do. Yeah.
I don't.
You don't?
No, I don't.
Yeah, I do.
Why is yours so smooth, like a baby's bottom?
I have no chest hair. I don't know why.
Look at this shit.
As you can see, I'm all well apart from there. I'm shaved.
Why do you shave it?
I don't know. I don't really like
looking at it.
No.
Because he's constantly just looking in a mirror.
Yeah. Also, I normally shave my armpits, but
do you really?
Yeah, I do normally. Yeah.
See, I've only done that like twice, and I found it incredibly itchy, so I never did it again.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Yeah, I normally stay shaved because then when you sweat, it's just like more sweaty. Well, I mean that makes sense because hair warms you up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you and me have learnt something about Hector today. We're also joined by Leander.
Hello.
Now, legally, you've never actually been on the podcast. Every episode we recorded with you had to be destroyed.
I
Really?
thought there was one.
Wait, what about the Neil Breen one?
He wasn't in the first one. That's the only one that we were able to get out.
Ah, no
So
way.
every single podcast Leander has been in hasn't been released.
There
was the one of the prank,
which
never got released.
Never got released.
That was and that was also the second Neil Breen one, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. What other one were you in?
There
Was
were
it just those two?
There was a few Neil Breen.
I think I think we recorded like 2 or 3 of him, and we weren't able to release any of them because my other mic is hideously broken, and at some point someone touched it wrong, and it just destroyed it. Really.
I see. No.
Yeah. But that's okay. Yeah. This is Leander. He is Hector's bigger brother, but he is younger. He's just bigger than him.
Oh yeah, Leander is 10'4".
Yeah.
Yeah.
And 9.3 inches. Yeah. I'm talking about his muscles. What are you talking about?
Oh, I thought you meant 10'4" and an additional 9 point.
No,
inches.
I'm saying his muscle radius
I see.
on his arms is 9.3 inches.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a shame about his cock.
Yeah.
How are you today, though, Leander?
I'm doing good.
Yeah?
It's slightly a little bit warm, but
yeah, but us too. That's why we're all completely naked. I said we were shirtless, but
Yeah.
obviously I was lying. We're all
Completely naked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are all hard. As in, we're absolute units that no one should mess with, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it is hot. It has been
It's
really,
really
hot the past couple of weeks. And for some reason, I never understand this. It always is. No one can tell me otherwise. It is hotter in the evening.
Do you want me to bleep that?
Yeah, might as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Right? It's hotter in the evening, indoors. Why?
Well,
there's no heat coming from the sun anymore. How has it gotten hotter in the night?
Well, I don't know if it is. I'd say, for me personally, it's more humid during the evening. As in, like, the air is stickier.
Oh, I see.
But in terms of actual heat, I always find it hotter around, like, I think the hottest is, like, 5-6 o'clock for me.
No. Yeah, but see, I'd expect it to be hottest when the sun is, like, directly above us, right? Like 12 or 1 o'clock, right?
Yeah.
But, yeah, that always confuses me, especially at home, like, when you're lying in bed with nothing on top of you, no clothes, no duvet, and you're just dying from the heat.
Yeah.
And I think, well, earlier today I was sat clothed in my chair, completely fine. And now look at me, shell of a man.
I'm really looking forward to if someone knocks on the door and opens it. Let's hope that happens. But yeah, so what have you boys been up to in the last year?
Wow.
I know, right?
Wow, so much.
so January
so
1st.
January.
Yeah. I got a new job. I've changed.
You've changed
as a person.
Yeah, you've dyed your hair green.
Yeah.
Which is like, whoa.
Yeah, it's like crazy, man.
You did it for Nethergreen.
Yeah.
It's lucky it wasn't never green, because otherwise you would have been a hypocrite.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you, Leander. I mean, you might as well, because, again, none of your episodes have ever been released. You might as well give a little introduction. Describe yourself in 5 sentences.
5 sentences?
Yeah.
How would I describe myself in 5 sentences?
Is that the first sentence?
Yeah, first sentence used. No, I think I...
Three sentences.
I've actually never... the thought of describing myself in 5 sentences is quite, maybe words. Actually, I don't even know.
Okay.
How would you even go about that?
No,
Like
I mean-
jobs, personality?
Well, in the 5 sentences?
Yeah.
I'd break it down, as a script writer, I'd break it down into like setup. So, this is the exposition of me, this is where I was born, how old I am. Then I'd
Social
go...
security number. Or that.
Yeah. But, bank credit, and then I'd give, I'd move that on to, after setup, it'd be the rising actions. So this sentence is going to make you stick with it and be like, oh, I can't wait to hear the other 3 sentences here. This is going to be tight. After that, you get the midpoint, which, you carry on that action, you don't lose focus. And then you get the climax. The 4th sentence is really the ending. And people are like, wow, there can't be any more to this. And then you deliver the 5th sentence and it's just a perfect resolution. It just sums everything up perfectly nicely. No open ending. No one's you're not gonna finish Cracker 5 and someone's gonna be like, but I've got more questions,
I think you've just perfectly put why you're a scriptwriter and I'm not.
Yeah, but
I'm just a guy.
But I'm giving you 5 sentences. I will reduce it to 3. Just Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. You can do this. Fuck it. Describe yourself in 1 word. It's so hard.
Wait.
Clash Royale addiction.
I don't know. I work in a coffee shop. I'm looking to join the RAF.
That's enough.
That's enough.
That was 2 sentences.
Wow,
no, because now you're getting... That's a bit too personal. The audience don't give a shit that you work in a coffee shop.
But that's summarising me.
Describe your brain.
Describe my brain.
Yeah.
All over the place, really. Just thoughts coming in.
His brain is made up of 2 hemispheres.
Hmm.
It has approximately 50 billion neurons.
What are your dreams?
That's a weird... I don't actually dream,
What is your deepest fear?
Yeah. What would you do? Would you still love me if I was a worm?
Do you believe in God?
That's a no.
That isn't.
But yeah, I mean, this is Leander. As you could tell, he isn't that interesting, I guess, if he can't... 5 words.
5 words, okay.
If you like, we could also do this, me and Hector.
Yeah, sure. Adrenaline junkie. Outgoing.
That's 2 words, I want you to know.
I know. Outgoing.
You're adrenaline and a junkie.
Yeah. Both completely separate things, yeah. Wow. I'm actually really fucking struggling with this.
Have you ever had a job interview?
Yeah.
This is what this is. This is a job interview.
For
if you should continue.
And I've failed. I'm fired already. I've
Dan
lost my job.
aced this.
Did he?
No, we didn't ask him, to be honest. Go on, 5 words. You've gone with adrenaline junkie will accept.
Yeah.
So that is. Do you want it to be counted as 1 word?
Sure.
So you're not adrenaline and junkie.
It could be a hyphen.
Yeah. So 4 words. You're an adrenaline junkie. What else are you?
Yeah. I'm also, I'd say, fairly outgoing.
He's outgoing. Hell yeah.
Open-minded.
He's open-minded.
Yeah.
That's 3 words. 2 more to go. This is the absence.
Gamer.
He's a gamer.
I enjoy gaming.
And he's a Redditor.
And last word.
He hates.
And just a chill guy.
He's chill.
I
Okay.
guess.
I guess because
So you're an adrenaline junkie and a really chill guy.
I'm on the spot here. I have no idea what to say. I'm just rambling.
Hector, how about you? 5 words.
Sure. Oh, I thought we were going to do the 5 sentences.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if you want to show up your brother.
Okay, just 5 words. Computers. I like computers.
Okay.
Computers. Computers.
That's your second word.
Gaming. Does that come under computers?
No.
No?
Because you like to build computers. That's not the same as playing on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Computers.
For the audience,
Gaming.
he helped me build my computer.
I did.
And it runs beautifully.
It's an amazing computer.
It is.
Who built your computer?
It's my favourite computer.
It's my favourite computer.
It's better than Hector's computer.
It is actually better than my computer, yeah.
It won't be for long, but I'm enjoying this sweet spot.
Computers, gaming,
Outgoing.
See how difficult this is?
No, it's not that difficult. I'm just choosing between the selection in my head. Business. I like business stuff. Yeah.
He's a businessman.
Yeah. Traveling. I like traveling. I like, going on buses, going on for walks.
Yeah.
I like traveling around, that kind of stuff. And cum.
Cum.
Yes.
Okay. I see it. I see your cum.
yes. Yeah, I bring it with me everywhere in this little pots.
Yeah. Called your balls.
Yeah.
Because cum's stored in the balls.
It is cool. No, I thought it was stored in the bladder.
That's piss.
Oh.
Yeah.
But then where's the piss stored?
In the bladder. They're all stored in the balls as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Piss and cum is in the ball. One ball is for
And
piss.
is that a hyphen,
The
your
other-
fifth word? Piss and cum.
Yeah, it's piss and cum, yeah. One is stored in the left ball, the other is stored in the right ball.
That's true, yeah.
It is, yeah.
Hitler, do you think he could only piss or only cum?
He could have he was only a pisser. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a miserable man who could not cum. Yeah.
I think if he was the kind of guy who would tickle his G-spot,
Yeah.
and that's the only way he could do it.
Yeah.
But is that really your fifth word?
No. I guess my
can
fifth
be.
word might be, I guess space. I like space.
Okay.
Space is cool.
Okay.
Am I right to redo my 5 words? I've thought of 5 words now.
Yeah, of course you can, bud.
Alright, scrap those. I'm going to go with coffee. I love coffee.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm also going to go with adrenaline. Just adrenaline. Yeah.
He injects himself with adrenaline
just
5 times
pure,
a day.
yeah.
It's like Bane with his venom,
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah. And I'm also going to go with people, because I enjoy...
He eats people.
Oh, yeah, that'll be it. Yeah, I enjoy people, their company, new people.
They're what?
Their what?
Okay, well, you have 2 words, bud.
Other 2 words.
You were the one who said you wanted to redo.
You said you'd thought of 5
I know.
perfect words. 5 words that you could say them to any stranger and they'd be like, that's Leander. You're struggling.
My brain just isn't braining today. I'm noticing that.
I'm glad I can cut out these breaks. The audience don't know that you've been sat here in silence for 2 minutes thinking of a word.
Clash Royale.
Yeah, gaming and the countryside.
Countryside, wow.
Gonna go with that. I made the 5 words. Whoa.
And overall, you've got 10 words.
Yeah.
9, technically. You used adrenaline twice.
Yeah.
Really. Nice. Alright, well, I feel like the audience know you intimately now. You've been here all along. So, yeah, what have you guys been up to? I've only got...
What about you, Bradley? You need to do 5 words.
No, they know me.
Oh.
I'm the only one who's been in every episode. I'll give him 5. What can I say about Bradley? I'm educated. I'm a storyteller. I'm spectacular. I'm Spider-Man. No. So yeah, I don't even remember what my first word was.
Storytelling?
Storytelling.
Yes, I'm a storyteller. I'm well educated because I'm doing my masters now.
Yep.
Not everyone can say that.
Yep.
I'm not saying I'm the only one who can say that, but not everyone can.
I mean, everyone can. They'd just be lying.
They'd be lying. Anyone can say anything. That's free speech. Yeah. So, storyteller, well educated. Wow, it is hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm a beautiful singer.
Yeah.
I'm not. I want to be a beautiful singer. That's one skill I'd love to pick up. I don't want it, Claire. I'd love to learn how to sing.
Or like an Ed Sheeran, or like a...
more like a fucking Lewis Capaldi.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could be my 3rd word. I don't give a shit. It's time the audience knew.
Lewis Capaldi.
I'd
see, yeah.
I'd like to sing one day.
Yeah.
And my other 2 words are simply gang. No, I'm a gamer too. I do enjoy gaming.
Yeah.
And I'm also going to go with critical because I am very critical about a lot of things.
Yeah.
People, movies, people, especially people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate people.
Specific people.
The audience listening now. And
How many times is name going to be bleeped out?
Eventually, I'll give up.
And then I'll link it and send it to him.
I'll call this episode.
In the hopes that he listens to it.
Yeah. But yeah, seriously, we've done the introductions for 16 minutes now.
Yeah.
So let's actually get into, because I've only got a single topic and I can't talk about it for over an hour.
You could.
I can't. I don't know that much about
wow.
it. Yeah. Do you want me to just go into it now?
Yeah, sure.
No. So I recently found out about a TV show that amazed me when I heard about it, and I want to share the synopsis and description of it to you guys. So, as you'll know, this is a genre that I'd call pseudo-reality. An example I think you both know, I know you know it, would be Nathan For You, where it is real people, but there is one person faking, essentially. Nathan's playing a character, and he's stringing these people along. Another example is Borat the movie, pseudo-reality. So I heard about a show, and I started watching it, called The Joe Schmo Show.
Okay.
Now, honestly, when I first heard about this, I couldn't believe it, and I'm watching it now. It's incredible. So there's this reality show. It's like a Big Brother-esque, called the Lap of Luxury or something like that. There's 10 people in this show. There's an arse, and they kind of fall into stereotypes. There's the arsehole, the bitch, the gay, which is an actual stereotype on the show, the gay. And there's a guy called Matt. Now, what Matt doesn't know is that every other person, all other 9 of the housemates, are all paid actors.
I see.
All pretending to be these characters.
Yeah.
Including some actors who would go on to great things. Kristen Wiig from Bridesmaids and Ghostbusters reboot. She's in it as like this quack doctor who uses puppets and shit.
Nice.
Rickety Cricket from It's Always Sunny is in it, playing the arsehole. And in season 2, they've got J-Rock from Trailer Park Boys in it.
No way.
Yeah, there's some like weird names in it. But he doesn't know that they're all faking. But not only are they faking, but everything in the show is scripted. Like Big Brother, they're doing games.
Yeah.
And it's all rigged so that he either wins or loses.
Yeah.
There are romance subplots, beefs, the eliminations. Every single thing has been perfectly scripted just to gaslight him. And there'll be constantly people who, like I noticed it in the first couple of episodes, there'll be people who make mistakes. And at that point, they actually have to gaslight him. Like, they'll be like, oh yeah, I'm from Missouri. And then afterwards, a couple of episodes later, they'll be like, oh yeah, I've always wanted to go to Missouri. I thought you were from Missouri. What? What are you talking about, mate? I'm from Michigan. And there's this one challenge they do where they're having to guess underpants because they asked everyone to bring in a set of pants, and they had to change the results at the last minute because he actually got a lot of them white. Right, and there's this old man called Earl, and they give him a underpants that has fish on them, and then later on in the episode he's like, I thought yours were the fish. And you can see him. Like, you can see Matt being like, wait, what? What did you say? And he has to explain, and then Kristen Wiig's there as Dr. Pat, which is her character's name, and she's like, no, yours were the fish. No, you probably... you can see her nodding while Matt's not looking to be like, go along with this. Being like, no, I think you were thinking of the one with the elves on. And then he's like, oh yeah, I haven't got my glasses. And then he puts on a set of glasses that he doesn't actually need. They all have random shit as props just in case, and he has to just wear the glasses now because he now can't explain why he can't be seen in them.
Yeah,
like it goes deep with how much they're fucking with this guy. It's so fucking good.
Well, just one real person,
a real person called Matt,
not an actor,
has no idea what's going on. He just thinks he's on Big Brother essentially.
And does he find out after it's all over, or does he find out and then it's ended?
So I haven't watched the whole season, but I when I found out about it, I found out how it ends. And yeah, because they're all doing it for a $100,000 prize. This is like 2003, $100,000. And obviously they've set it up so that he wins, but at the point of winning is when they reveal that everything has been perfectly orchestrated and staged. It's like the rehearsal from Nathan For You.
Yeah.
Like everything's been staged for him, and his reaction is so pure and iconic, where you can see him just in pure shock, and there's a sound cut where he goes, "What is going on?" You can see him just so fucking confused, and it's really, really funny. It's really good.
Does he win the $100,000?
Yeah.
That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he was always going to win
So,
anyway, but they.
I was going to say, if you had all these actors come on and they were like, yeah, no, this actor, they're going to win the 100 grand.
No, I mean, he was always going to win because that was a part of the script. They rigged the competitions in his, or sometimes they make him lose just because it's funny. Like the arsehole character, he wins a lot of them because the ones that he wins comes with immunity clauses so that he can't be voted out.
Yeah.
And that's their excuse for why he keeps staying, because he is such an aggressive arsehole. And they, again, this is rickety cricket. So he's not like an angry, he's just a dick. You know, like there's one guy called Kip he's playing the gay, and he's actually straight in real life. And the girls are kind of also messing with him by being, like at one point they're in the hot tub and they've called him to his lap. And he has to pretend like he's gay and he's not actually really enjoying it. But, Kip has a scrapbook, again, all fake. And, the arsehole goes in. Hutch, his name is. His name's Hutch, but he goes by the Hutch.
Amazing.
Yeah, he's that sort of guy. He goes in and he takes away all of the pictures and replaces them with pictures of his arse. Like, he's that sort of arsehole. So it doesn't make sense unless he's got this immunity clause why he, you know, because it's them who's voting them out.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like, oh, the audience are calling in. No, they're voting. So in order for them not to vote him out, he has to be winning a fair amount of challenges.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just, and then they do 2 more seasons, and I haven't seen these yet, but I know the plot. So the second one is more of a standard love one, where, you know, it's like a dating show, where they've actually got 2, they call them marks. They got 2 marks, a man and a woman. They're doing like a reverse bachelorette where, you know, and at some point, one of them figures it out, because the first season they come out, one of them figures it out, and they actually bring them in and get them involved in it, and they're like, okay, well now you know, you can help us. And it just becomes again about 1 mark.
Oh no.
That's amazing.
Another point I have to bring up, there's a host, his name's Ralph. He's the host of all 3 seasons, and after the first one, he has to wear elaborate disguises so that he can't be recognised. So in the second one, he's dyed his hair and he's got like a moustache. And in the third one, he's wearing like, I haven't seen it, but I think he's got like a bat. He looks rough. Because the third season is like a Dog the Bounty Hunter type show, or like a manhunt show, where they brought this, again, a mark in, and they're like, okay, it's going to be a manhunt. They're all after you. But what they don't realise is that, you know, because in those sort of shows you're being recorded anyway, but the idea is that no one, you know, no one's going to see that footage until it's released. But no, everyone knows where he is at all times and what he's doing, and they're just choosing very particular moments to catch up with him and fuck with him, you know. And even that, like, they'll follow him into a hotel, and then they've scouted out the area, and they'll suddenly replace like the staff with actors. It's honestly, it's like a fucking Truman Show. It's so fucking good.
That reminds me of our idea to do a manhunt on holiday.
Which would be so sick. Explain that.
That would be so. Basically, the idea was, well, I think it was originally your idea, Bradley, where you wanted to do. You thought it would be cool if we did like a manhunt type thing at some point, and then maybe Dan said, "Oh, we should do it while we're on holiday in Ibiza."
Yeah.
And then I was like, you know, and then I just had a spur of the moment idea. I was like, I'm gonna write a funny script type thing for it, and so I wrote a funny thing for it.
Should we try and find that script?
Yeah, I mean, I posted it in the Messenger group chat, I think.
How did you post
Did you write a script? Oh, you did, didn't
you? Yeah,
you?
it was as a Google Docs type thing. I think I shared the
now.
link to it.
See if you can get the URL up. I can cut what you did there.
I'm going to see if I can just find it. Surely I do. Here it is.
Okay.
Yes. Manhunt 2023 Ibiza. So this was, I guess I was just bored while at work, and I just decided I'm going to write this. Yeah. So I wrote, what comes to mind when you think of Ibiza? Flowing drinks, world-class...
Actually, wait, just one more bit of context. So the reason you've written this is because we also came up with the idea of the more people, the better. So we were joking about posting this to Reddit or like Twitter to try and get people involved. Yeah. So this is a fake advertisement for the manhunt.
Yeah. What comes to mind when you think of Ibiza? Flowing drinks, world-class nightclubs, shaking dance floors, and beach clubs that spill onto golden sands. Well, there's more to this Mediterranean oasis than letting loose on the dance floor. This Spanish island has delicious cuisine with handmade tapas and fresh seafood all over the island. Excellent year-round weather and whitewashed villages, but also impressive history. It is 1499. The Spanish are waging a vicious war with the Italians for ownership of Italy. Ludovico Sforza, the wealthiest regent of Milan, is sailing past Ibiza when he's attacked by Spanish ships. He and his crew are victorious in battle, but the ship is damaged beyond repair, shipwrecking them on Ibiza.
Just quickly, how much of this is made up?
A lot of this is actually real. That I actually researched this. Yeah. This is actually, most of this is actually real. On the ship are 7,000 bars of 24-karat gold, which Ludovico and his men quickly hide in Ibiza. It wouldn't have been quickly. It would have been very slow. That part is a lie.
So there is actually 27 the bars of gold. That's real.
I don't know if that's real, no,
okay.
But I do know that there was that ship and it had gold in it.
Okay.
When the Spanish reinforcements arrive, Ludovico and his men are slaughtered, but the gold remains unfound. You and your friends discover this forgotten secret in the greatest repository of knowledge ever conceived, Reddit. You venture to the renowned Party Island to recover the gold, but upon arrival you find that not only has most of the gold been taken, but also an ancient curse has been lifted. Before the regent Ludovico left the gold, he placed a 14th century curse on it. If a single bar is separated from the other 7,000 bars, the person holding it will be incinerated into dust by the vengeful hand of God in no less than 5 days.
And is that one real, or did you make that up?
I made that one up. Oh no, that one's real.
That one's real. That's a real curse. Yeah. Curses are real.
You must find the other Redditors who took the rest of the gold, defeat them and claim it for yourself, before you are all struck down by the mighty hand of God. To defeat a Reddit user, you must simply dox him by taking a clear picture of his face and posting it online.
Which is a part of the rules of the manhunt. You can't just find them. You've got to take a picture of them and post it to the group chat.
Clear picture
in order
of
to
their
prove
face.
you found it.
Yeah. And the rules. You must stray no further than, in brackets, number of miles, because we hadn't decided. So you can stray no further than a certain number of miles from the city. You must stay at a selection of hotels that would be chosen.
Let me quickly explain that to you. So we were going to choose, we were going to come up with a list of maybe 5-6 hotels. It was only going to last about 2 days, but you've got to be in one of those hotels.
Yeah.
And, and you can't discuss which one. So you could end up all in the exact same one, There's always
that
chance.
would be fun.
Exactly.
Yeah. You must partake in touristing/holiday activities during the day.
Yeah, so the idea there is that, I'm sure they have, zoos, for example, museums, and during a set amount of time, say between, 1 to 3, you had to visit that museum and stay there for a certain amount of time.
The whole point of the rule was so it would prevent people from just going into the bathroom of their hotel and locking themselves in there the entire time.
And again, you have to take pictures there at the, the beginning and end of the time to prove that you were there.
Yeah. You must partake in drinking/social activities in the evening. So basically, you have to be doing stuff during the day at a select number of locations.
Essentially, go out to the club, still have fun. Yeah. You could end up in the same club and then a big chase and shit. Exactly. Which was the main goal of this. We had the image of running through a town centre, knocking over a chicken coop, knocking over a fruit cart.
The local sellers are like, oh, shouting after.
And you're like, sorry, that was the idea.
Yeah, and the rewards. The winner will receive his weight in gold, hand delivered by Bradley. That's it. That's the only reward. Yeah. That would definitely be a lot of fun.
Yeah. And we still might do it one day. We really might.
The only downside to the idea would be that you'd need to have a lot of people doing it, because say if you only had a small group of people doing it, then you might end up in the situation where just by chance, pure chance alone, you don't really run into them at all, and then the one time you do run into them, it's anticlimactic. Yeah. And
but see, that was where there was another rule where each hour or every half hour or every hour, you have to post your location in the group chat so everyone knows where you are.
Apart from the set times where you'd be at the hotel.
Yeah.
And another thing that I think we should probably add were disguises were going to be a big part of this.
Yeah.
One idea I had, and I'm going to tell you now because I don't think I'm going to do it, but I was legitimately going to, as soon as I get there, go to a barber and have him shave my head.
Wait. You were going to do that?
No, I was.
Because That is so weird because I said to Hector, okay, so basically, because looking to join the military, you shave your head before basic training. I was going to, as soon as I get there, shave my head as I would, normally.
Yeah.
And obviously I don't have long hair, but I have like medium length hair.
Yeah.
And so I'd look completely different, but that's so weird that you thought of the exact same thing.
Yeah, I did. Because it would grow back, and that's going to make it a lot harder.
That is going to make it
And I was going to bring an assortment of wigs, and being bald would make it, easy. I mean, dude, I'm not going to tell you some of the stuff that Dan said, because again, we will do this still one day, and I don't want to reveal everything. Yeah. But seriously, with the disguises alone, good luck, is what I can say.
Oh man, yeah, we do definitely need to do that one day. That will be a lot of fun.
It would be.
Yeah, that's got to be up there in the top 10 list of
it's
really
bucket
fun.
list,
yeah, that is on the bucket list. That's a very fun activity.
Mm.
I'm going to quickly check what I discussed in the last episode, because there is a topic I want to talk about, but I'm obviously not going to do it if I talked about it already. And it could take a little while too. I haven't. Good. So, I want to talk about The Flash.
Yeah.
Now, again, I don't mind. I'm going to spoil, for the listeners, I'm going to spoil it completely, because no one should really care. No one does
No one
care.
should watch this.
It's bombing so fucking hard. It's bombing so hard.
What was the budget for it?
Alright, so, let me get this up. So, what you've got to remember whenever someone reads the budget of a film is that that's simply the production budget. That doesn't cover the marketing, or the press junkets, all that sort of stuff. So, the production budget alone was between 200 to 220 million.
Wow. That's bigger than the Oppenheimer budget.
Almost certainly.
Yeah.
And
almost 100 million.
Yeah. And marketing alone can be about 150 million.
Yeah.
So, let's just say it's 200. So this movie was around 350 million. It's currently made, let me check this again. It's currently made 250 million. And you've got to remember, it's been out for a little while already. Like, for example, Endgame earned $1 billion on its opening weekend.
Yeah.
And all movies drop off. The Endgame earned $1 billion opening weekend. On its opening weekend, The Flash earned, let's find out here,
£17.
A meal deal.
It was projected, meaning it was expected to gross between 68 million and 85 million. But it earned 130 million. No, wait. Making 240 million on its first day. Estimates below 60 million. 55 million. Oh, okay. That's hang on, let me read this. It was expected to gross... Okay, no. So, it was expected to gross between 68 million and 85 million domestically, and between 85 million and 95 million internationally. I'm not going to do the maths, but overall, on its opening weekend, it ended up grossing 130 million.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, in its second weekend, it dropped 72%, and in the second weekend, it only earned 15 million.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not going to make back its budget. At all. It isn't. It quite frankly isn't.
How can it have such a big budget? Because from what I've seen, all of the clips that I've seen of it, it has really bad CGI.
It's terrible CGI.
Yeah.
Two things about that. So one, you've got to understand that this film has been in production for 20 years.
20 years?
Now, yes. Yeah. It's had... And I'm not going to look it up, but I'm just going to kind of bullshit here. It's had around, I want to say, 10 to 11 writers. Because they've been trying to make a Flash movie 4 years. So it's had so many writers that have come in and rewritten it. They've all obviously gotten paid. It's had multiple directors who have joined in and then dropped out. Some of these include Phil Lord and Chris Miller, who did the Lego movie and Solo and shit.
Where's what production company is it that's paying
It's Warner
for
Brothers.
This? It is Warner Brothers.
Yeah. And then, I mean, Ezra Miller was cast as the Flash for this movie in 2014. The entirety of the Flash show happened during the time that he was cast and this movie came out. All 9 seasons and 184 episodes of it. Like, this movie took
Man.
so goddamn long.
Why?
Well, one, because of these constant rewrites. Because you got to understand, I love The Flash, which makes it especially sad that I hate this movie. And I do. Spoiler alert, this movie's like a 2 out of 10. Same rating I gave Morbius and Fant 4 Stick.
Morbius.
This movie is really, really dreadful, and I'll get into it. But you've got to understand, there's, as much as I love The Flash, even I can admit, there's only really one Flash story you can do that people know, and that's called Flashpoint. Now, the idea of Flashpoint, which they do, it is kind of an adaptation of Flashpoint. Barry Allen's the Flash, his mother was murdered when he was a kid, and his father went to prison for the murder. Then an accident made him the impossible. Sorry, that's the opening narration of The Flash. But no, so yeah, mother died, daddy went to prison. And in Flashpoint, he goes back and prevents his mum's murder. And then when he goes to the future, everything has changed. Superman is, he's not dead, but he's been locked up in Russia for years. Batman's dead, because it was Bruce Wayne who died, and now his dad, Thomas Wayne's Batman. Aquaman and Wonder Woman are at war, the Atlanteans versus the Themysciras. Just everything is backwards, crazy, cuckoo bananas. And it turns out that the Reverse Flash, who is his greatest nemesis, who's not in this movie. Why?
Oh, really?
The Reverse Flash is Batman's. He is the Joker to Batman that he is to the Flash, And he's not in this movie, which is even weirder because, again, his mum dies in this movie. And if you know anything about Flashpoint or the Flash in general, you'd be like, oh, the Reverse Flash did that. They never explain in the movie who killed her. In fact, Barry doesn't seem to care, which is weird. Because he goes back in time, and the way he stops the murder is that because the reason she was murdered, which I also think is kind of dumb, is that she went shopping earlier that day and she forgot a can of tomatoes. And while the dad's out getting tomatoes, that's when the murder happens. And he gets back and she's already dying and they think he did it. Because he can't prove his alibi because there was a camera there. I'm explaining this for a reason. There was a camera there, but the tomatoes were on the bottom shelf. So he never looks up to the camera. I promise I explained that for a reason. But he just goes back and gives her the tomatoes, essentially. That's how he prevents the murder. No. That's going on the assumption that the only reason she died was because he was out of the house. But that means that the Reverse Flash didn't do it, because he would have just come back the next day. Reverse Flash doesn't give a shit. And 2, really? That's it? 1 can of tomatoes is what did this. 1 can of tomatoes was the difference between someone breaking into your house and horrifically murdering your mother, stabbing her in the chest and leaving her to bleed out. Like, and Barry never questions. That was his first instinct. His first instinct wasn't to be like, oh, I'm going to go back and find who killed my mum, which would be my first instinct. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah.
No, his first instinct was, I got it. I'm going to go give her that can of tomatoes. And it works. But that does mean, in my eyes, that the Reverse Flash wasn't responsible. Because, again, he wouldn't have cared. In fact, in the show, the dad's there. Why would he wait for the dad? He's the fastest man alive. Why the fuck would he wait? Why would he be like, he's in the bushes being like, oh, dad's gone. Finally, time to play. Oh, no. In this new universe, dad isn't gone. Oh, foiled again. I guess I'm going to go back to the future. No. So the Reverse Flash isn't in this movie, and I have to assume he's not in this universe, because it makes no sense. So he goes back, he gives the tomatoes. But instead of full-on flashpointing, because the idea of a flashpoint, you have to know and care about that universe. You care that Batman's dead. You care that Superman's been raised in Russia. You care about Aquaman. You care about Wonder Woman in the comics. You don't give a shit about any of them in the film series. I don't give a fuck if Batfleck has died in this new universe. I couldn't care less. Fuck you, Batfleck. I don't give a shit if you're dead. Oh no, Henry Cavill's in Russia. He's been locked up in Russia the entire time. Don't get me wrong. Be great to say, but we also know that Henry Cavill's been fired, and they're rebooting the entire universe anyway.
Why did he get fired?
Because they're rebooting the entire universe.
Oh, I see.
And again, that also is a big reason why this is flopping. Imagine if they did this sort of thing with Marvel. They were going to completely, they were going to fuck up the timeline on purpose. But you also know, oh, by the way, this is the last Marvel movie. So nothing that actually happens here is going to come back in the future. No, you shouldn't really care. And no one does. No one cares. I want to make it clear, by the way, I have a Cineworld membership card, so I saw it for free. And if I didn't have that, I wouldn't have gone and saw this movie. I wouldn't have paid money for it. But yeah, so instead of that, so he goes into this new timeline, but it's not a new timeline because it'd be too easy. Yeah. Instead, they explain it, and they literally have this is the return of Michael Keaton's Batman, and they clearly think they're clever. They do a little jab at Marvel at Endgame, because Endgame's explanation for time travel is you go back in time and you create a new universe. That's why you can't change your present by changing the past, because that past becomes your future. Is their explanation. Overly complicated. I also don't really like it that much, but whatever. The Flash literally speaks that. They go, you probably thought that you'd be creating a new timeline. No. What actually happens, and he gets up 2 pieces of spaghetti, and he goes, so you've got 2 timelines, one in 2 universes, one in coexistent. And what you've actually done by going back in time and changing something, and then he puts them into the shape of an X, he goes, you've created an intersect, and you simply moved over to the other timeline. Which is why Michael Keaton is Batman in this timeline. But he's also much older than Ben Affleck, so it wouldn't make sense that stopping his mum's death would change that, Yeah. There were 2 things wrong with this. One, dumb. So so by going back and changing those specific events, he's actually just gone into a universe where that event's already happened. Yeah. But that doesn't make sense, because they wouldn't have happened if he didn't go back. And don't get me wrong, that's the whole idea of time travel. Time travel is full of paradoxes, but in this universe, if he hadn't gone back from that universe, the tomatoes would never have been given, and she would have died.
In my eyes, it would just be the same universe, but it would be the same universe where he went back in time and changed it.
Exactly.
Because that's still logical.
Exactly.
It still makes perfect sense.
And because of this, there's 2 Barry Allens in this film, which is even worse, because everyone knows that Ezra Miller is a criminal mastermind going on a rampage. He's the real life Joker. And people were like, oh, recast him, reshoot it. You can't. He is 2 Barry Allens in this film. He is in, I want to say, 95% of this movie. If you were to recast him and reshoot it, you'd have to do the entire movie, because when Barry isn't in it, Barry 2's in it. He's 2 Barrys. And the second reason why that explanation is dumb is because it's delivered by Michael Keaton's Batman. I love Michael Keaton's Batman. He's shit in this. They don't give him anything good to do. He dies at the end. He commits suicide. And I'm going to explain that too, because it's bullshit. But how the fuck does Michael Keaton's Batman, who, by the way, never has dealt with anything like this, how does he have such highly developed, correct knowledge of how the multiverse works? How? He doesn't.
He just understands.
He is Batman.
Exactly. Like, it actually makes no sense that what Michael Keaton would be saying in this scenario is correct, but apparently it is. Okay. Like, at least in Endgame, when the Hulk was describing it, he's he's had 5
smart
years.
Hulk.
Yeah, he's smart Hulk. He's done the research. He's an actual. Don't get me wrong, Batman's a genius. But he's not a nuclear physicist. He's the world's
It's like that one scene of Iron Man who says he became a...
Exactly. Like Batman is the world's greatest detective. Are you telling me Sherlock Holmes could figure out the mechanics of the multiverse? Like, no, he couldn't. It makes no sense. So, there's 2 Barry Allens. One of them is 18, and the other one is 23, I guess, if you go by 2023, whatever. And Barry Allen in this. Have you seen Batman v Superman or Justice League?
No. Oh wait, no. I think I've seen
Batman v Superman.
I think I've seen that one. Yeah,
he's barely in it. Really, he's in a small scene. But what you got to understand about this version of Barry Allen, Ezra Miller's Barry Allen, he is. And I'm not saying this lightly. A terrible character. He's awful. You don't like him. You don't want to like him. He's incredibly unlikable. I think a great scene that is his introduction scene in Justice League. You want a character who is engaging, who you're interested in. And you've got Barry Allen, Ezra Miller's Barry Allen, where he's just fucking talking about brunch. He's like, like Bruce Wayne Batfleck comes in and is like, hey, I want you to join my special team. And Barry's just like, oh yeah, I need friends. I don't understand people. Like, what's the deal with brunch? And he goes into a 5-minute fucking stand-up routine. Like, what's the deal with brunch? Like, it's between breakfast and it's between lunch, but you could just have a big breakfast or you could just have a big... We don't give a shit. What are you talking about, dude? What the fuck are you saying? It is. So, they realised, making this movie, they were like, okay, this Barry Allen is really annoying. How do we make him more likeable? So what they do is that they make the younger Barry even more annoying, and they make
so by contrast, he must be likeable.
So present day Barry becomes the straight man, even though he's also still annoying. Like there's a bit in this movie. So you know about Wonder Woman's lasso of truth. She has like a lasso where if you touch it, you're speaking the truth. So Batman gets caught in it, and this is an okay scene. But it's also ripped off from Justice League. They did the exact same scene in Justice League. Because Batman's touching it and he's like, you know, if I actually just used my money to fight poverty in Gotham, there probably wouldn't be so many supervillains. I'm probably making the city worse. Which is fair. That's a fair assessment. But then Barry touches it to try and get him out. And this is the actual quote he says. And tell me if you think it's funny or just sad and annoying. He touches it and immediately goes, I know what sex is, I just haven't had it yet. In that's how he says it, the exact phrasing. I know what sex is, I just haven't had it yet. That's not funny.
No.
You know what?
That's just kind of cringe.
It's just really cringe. That's the kind of character that Big Barry, I'm going to call him Big Barry and Little Barry, I've decided, that Big Barry is in this film. And then there's a bit where he's talking to Little Barry, and he's the mentor, you know. He helps Little Barry get his powers, and in doing so, he loses his own powers, which is a bit like, okay. Doesn't really make sense to me because, okay, I'm actually going to talk about this a lot longer than I thought I was. So, the way the Flash's powers work is that he connects to the Speed Force. And the way he connects to that Speed Force is he got struck by lightning and doused in chemicals. He recreates that power. He recreates the event to give Little Barry his powers. But Big Barry also gets struck by the lightning and he loses his powers. He loses that connection to the Speed Force. But why? Why does that happen? The Speed Force, and this is even worse if you look at it from the comics, because in the comics, Barry Allen is the Speed Force. He literally creates it. There's always going to be a Barry Allen, and that's how the Speed Force exists. Whatever. But why does getting struck by the lightning twice remove your powers? Why does it sever the connection to the Speed Force? The Speed Force is a dimension. It's like a bubble outside of the universe surrounding you. It doesn't make sense to me why he loses his powers and Little Barry gets it. The only thing I could have thought to explain that is that the powers got transferred to Little Barry. But that also doesn't happen. I don't know, it's dumb. It's really, I don't like it. So, there's a bit where he's trying to mentor Little Barry, and he's getting agitated, and he's like, oh my god, is this what we're always like? Because you can tell that he finds himself really annoying. And it's like, yeah, man. Yeah, this is what you always like. Like, that doesn't, just because you're self-aware, just because the movie's being self-aware, like, we know this character's annoying, but look, he even annoys himself, ha ha ha. That doesn't make it better. This is still a really annoying character, you know?
It's really hard when a movie pushes an annoying character to like them. I feel as though when the protagonist has annoying characteristics and just is generally unlikable, there's no real redemption. You can't midway through suddenly change. I don't know. Even with something like say Iron Man.
Yeah.
To begin with, he's arrogant, he's self-absorbed, all these other negative qualities. Yet he's still like charming and interesting.
Yeah.
Even prior to him changing to be a better person, he's still an interesting character and somebody who you could watch anyway.
The thing with an annoying character, and I'm going to use Deadpool as a good example here. If you're going to have an annoying character, you can't have him annoying to the audience, just other characters. Which is what Deadpool is a great example of.
Yeah.
Deadpool, I mean, whether you like the movie or not,
it's actually something I feel like it would be very easy to make Deadpool an annoying character for the audience.
Oh, 100%.
That would be such an easy character to fuck up and to have as an annoying, just annoying in general.
But one, Deadpool is Ryan Reynolds, who is so inherently lovable. Yeah. Well, Barry is Ezra Miller, who is literally given people of Hawaii nightmares. And again, when he's, whether you enjoy the movie or not, Deadpool is inherently funny. His annoyance is that he's making jokes. Barry isn't making jokes. he's just talking bullshit. Like, he's done this, he did this in Justice League and The Flash, where Wonder Woman's like, how's it going? And the first thing he says to Wonder Woman, she goes, hi, I'm Diana. And he goes, hi Barry, I'm Diana. Wait, that's not right. It's not funny. That isn't funny. That's not funny to me, you know. That's just annoying, you know. So yeah, you've got to make.
That's very, very childish humour.
He is. He's so the character's so fucking immature. But again, normal Barry isn't. Barry Allen is again the Flash show isn't great. But man, you can't beat Grant Gustin as Barry Allen, especially in the first 2 seasons. He's perfect. That's how Barry Allen should be. Barry Allen isn't immature. He is just young. He's inexperienced. He's got an optimistic mindset. You know? He wants to believe the good in people. He wants to do all he can. He's like a Spider-Man-ish. You know?
Mm.
And yeah, this Barry just isn't. So, Big Barry and Little Barry, they go and find Michael Keaton's Batman because, alright, Man of Steel came out in 2013. It began this DC Cinematic Universe, DC Extended Universe. And you've got General Zod, who's played by Michael Shannon, a great actor who, by the way, hated being in this movie. He literally said in the quote, he said in an interview, someone was like, how was The Flash? And he was like, man, I was there for like 2 weeks. And Man of Steel was like a 4-month, 5-month period of my life. I was there for 2 weeks, and it just kind of felt like people smashing together action figures. And he's right. He's correct. He does. But, and he's barely in this movie. But, so Man of Steel is happening, but Superman's not here, so they go and find Michael Keaton's Batman. By the way, so Michael Keaton's Batman, that came out in the 1989, 1992, I think, was Batman Returns. If you haven't seen him since 1992, that's 30 years. Yeah, 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
And the way we introduced to him is that they sneak around Wayne Manor being like, Bruce, and he jumps out of a cupboard. He's got raggedy long hair and a big beard. He looks like Tom Hanks at the end of Castaway. And he just starts beating the shit out of him. Yeah. Which is supposed to be funny. But then when they, finally reveal him, you can tell, because something these movies are doing quite a lot that I'm sick of. I'm sick of it. Because we were talking earlier off podcast about how American movie theatres are so fucking loud.
Mm.
So they'll do these things that are called applause moments, where Spider-Man No Way Home is a great example of it. When Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire come in and they're first revealed, there's like a 4 seconds, 5 seconds, even longer sometimes, when nobody says anything. They're just kind of looking at each other. And Andrew Garfield's one is the best example. He takes off the mask and he's standing there like, oh, okay. And they're all just looking at him. And then after like 5-6 seconds, MJ goes, who are you? And these are moments in the theatre where you're revealing them and everyone's supposed to be like, yeah, whoa, it's Andrew Garfield, whoa! Now, No Way Home, I get that because you didn't know for sure they were going to be in the movie before they arrived.
There were rumours, but you didn't know for sure.
Batman has been in every single fucking trailer of this movie. It was the biggest reason why anyone was going to go see it. Everyone knew Michael Keaton was back. So when you get to that applause moment, you're just like, we know. We know it's you. This isn't a shock or surprise. We know it's you, Michael Keaton Batman. You're right there. You're on the poster. Look at this trailer. That's you. You know? And it's seriously, but then he explains.
That is really stupid.
He explains the multiverse, and they like, look, Big Barry's like, look, this happened in my universe, but Superman was there to stop it. We need to find Superman. You in? And he's like, nah. And then he goes away.
But what? Really?
Batman refuses to help, and it's like, Batman. Bats. Michael Keaton Batman. Brace. The world is being invaded by aliens right now. And you've got a guy who you clearly believe is from the multiverse because you just spent 10 minutes explaining the multiverse to him. And he says, hey, there is someone out there who can save the world and we need to go and rescue him now. And your first instinct is to go, nah, go away? Why? And it's even dumber because after that they go, okay, we're going to go use his equipment anyway. They're going to the Batcave. And then 5 minutes later, Big Barry says something out loud because he knows that Michael Keaton's Batman's probably listening in, spying on him. And he's like, in my world, Batman also has an outfit. Crazy, right? It's like fate. And Batman's like, you know what? I am going to help, actually, yeah. and he goes and gets the sewer. So it's like 5 minutes later, Batman decides to help. Remember that. 5 minutes later, Batman, after being like, nah, he's like, yeah. So they go to Russia.
And then he's like, nah, again.
I wish. But they go to Russia to do a rescue mission for Superman because they determined that's where his capsule crashed. They go to Russia, they fight for a bit, they do some shit, and then they find Supergirl instead, played by I think it's Sash Carly, is her name? Sasha Carly? What?
It looks so nice and
Oh,
cold.
of course.
It looks like the coldest drink I've ever seen.
But yeah, the actress is called Sasha Carly. And first of all, I want to say about her, because a lot of people were like, oh my god. Now, Supergirl is a character that's existed for years, but she's played by a Latina in this, and people were like, oh my god, it's so woke.
What?
Fuck off. That's the thing. She's played by a Latina.
What did you just say?
She's usually American with blonde hair, and in this one it's a Latina with black hair, and people were like, oh my god, the woke brigade is fucking in. I'm not gonna go and see the death. She is the best thing in this movie. I love her in this movie, but she also has nothing to do. She could be cut out of the movie completely, and I'll explain why. So they go rescue her. What? That's what people were like. People were like, oh my god, and Latina, super good. So they go and rescue her, and they bring her back to Gotham, I guess, Wayne Manor, and she comes back to life, and she's like, she goes up to recharge, and Little Barry goes, because Little Barry has a massive crush on her. Little Barry goes up and is like, you're going to help us save the world. And she's like, I don't think the world deserves I've been in Russia for 30 years being tortured. I don't think you guys are shit. And he's like, no, we are. And he's like, oh, but there's some good people in the world, like children. Which is even weirder because Edward Miller has grooming allegations. He's like, but like children and old people and teachers and friends. And she's like, nah, I'm not going to help. And she flies away. And 5 minutes later, so she's gone and she went and spied on General Zod for a bit, saw him kill some people. And then 5 minutes later, she comes back and is like, you know what? I will help you. So Batman and Supergirl both refused, and then 5 minutes later we're like, you know what? Yeah. Why?
Audience breaks into
Exactly.
the loudest
Hysteria.
applause.
Exactly, but
A 10-minute standing ovation.
but at this point they decide, you know what? Big Barry needs his powers back because he's been powerless this entire time. Big Barry needs his powers back, and I'm gonna do it. You know, and he gets struck by lightning a bunch. They summon lightning, essentially. She comes back and flies him into the air, so he gets the biggest bolt of fucking lightning he's ever had in his life. He literally...
Which, by the way, that wouldn't work unless he was, like, grounded.
I don't know, man. I don't know what you want from me. I don't know. I wish I wrote
So
this
you're
movie.
guessing that Bradley isn't so he's not going to jump on you and say,
Yeah, I'm not
going to
say the logic makes sense. I don't know. But it works.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, Big Barry has his powers back. Little Barry's learning to use his. We've got Supergirl. We've got Old Man Bats. Let's go and fight Zod. Bring the fight to Zod. Yeah. I forgot to mention something. I just realised. So the reason why Barry's 18, Little Barry's 18, is because while Big Barry was running back to his present day, there was like a dark speedster.
There was what?
No, his name in it is Black Flash because it's a black costume, and he pushes him out into this past time.
Yeah.
But
The one evil character. Yeah, let's call him Black Flash.
yeah, it's his costume. But yeah, his name's Black Flash. But they go and bring the fight to Zod, and you've also got to understand they're the same species as Superman, but they actually do quite well. Like Big Barry and Little Barry are going around hitting them and doing some damage, and it's like, look, I get you're really fast, but this man, he's the Man of Steel.
Superman.
Yeah. And
These
also
are all
there's
the
that
same
scene
species
where...
as- this is basically an army of Supermen.
And they beat them.
Well, they do damage, but
I
they don't
see.
beat them. So, at some point, they get all a bit jumbled up. Batman tries to shoot one of their ships, and it doesn't work. The ship destroys him. Batman dies, and they're like, "Oh no!" And then General Zod, and then Supergirl is beating Zod, and he stabs her, and she dies, and they're like, "Oh no!" So Little Barry goes to Big Barry and is like, "Hey, you got here by time travel. Let's go back and do it again. We can do it again. We can do that." So they go back in time to when the battle started. First of all, you just said an hour ago in this movie that the way time travel works is you're going back to a different universe. You just said that an hour ago. I remember you saying that. Why have you defied that logic and are now saying, you know what, time travel will fix this? No. That universe is dead now.
Yeah.
And you're just going to do it to another one. And possibly risk it. And also, if you go back with the universe, there should be 4 Barrys now. Every time they go back, there should be infinitely more Barrys because this is another universe. But yeah, so defying that logic, let's just say time travel now suddenly works the way it should. Suddenly time travel logic works and they go back and they're doing shit. But every time they go back, they're failing. And at one point, they go to Batman. When they go back and they're like, Batman, don't shoot at that ship. You're going to lose and die. And Batman, they haven't explained that they're time traveling, but Batman's just like, okay. And then he suicide bombs it and dies anyway. And Big Barry goes to Batman, is like, oh no. And Batman's just like, don't try and save me. You've already helped. You don't know that they time travelled, Batman. That hasn't been... What are you talking about? So, yeah, Batman...
No.
So Batman commits suicide in this film.
Batman commits suicide.
Yeah, he chooses to die.
God damn. That is not what Batman would do.
And again, this is Michael Keaton Batman, an iconic Batman. 30 years since we saw him. He commits suicide. And Little Barry, again, he fancies Supergirl. But they keep failing and Supergirl keeps dying. So he's constantly going back and back and back. Third, another point. When they go back in time, they're not just running back in time. They run into this area of the Speed Force that they call the Chrono Bolt. Don't know why they call it that. And while Big Barry waits there, because he's like, this isn't going to work, Little Barry keeps going. And suddenly, the Dark Flash, the Black Flash, comes in. I know, it's what he's called. His name is Black Flash. But it turns out the Black Flash...
Is it played by Idris Elba?
No.
Wow.
Because it turns out the Black Flash is an older version of Little Barry. And the reason he pushed him out into the past is so that he could create his own origin. And he's so old now. He's been doing this for about 20 years. And he comes in and he's like, you gotta give me one more chance. I'm so close. No, you're not. You've been trying to do this for 20 years, dude. Give up. So at this point we get the cameos. And I've talked to you about the cameos before. We get flashes of like actual real dead people. Like George Reeves and Christopher Reeves and Adam West. And we get Nicolas Cage at one point. It's all a bunch of bullshit. But Black Flash is like, I'm gonna kill you, old Barry, Big Barry, and Little Barry jumps in and sacrifices himself, and Dark Flash, Black Flash fades away. And that's when Big Barry's finally like, okay, this isn't working, I've got to go and make things right. So he runs back in time to where he gave his mum the tomatoes, and he takes them away again. And he has one final conversation with her where obviously he doesn't say that he's his son, but he's like, oh, I came to see my mother, I love her so much. And she's like, oh, she would be proud, and because she's Spanish or whatever, and gives him a hug. And then he goes back to the future. Now, I forgot a subplot. There's so much bullshit in this movie. So, no, I didn't forget it. So I told you that, you know, the tomatoes were on the bottom shelf, so the dad didn't have an alibi.
Yeah.
But it turns out that before doing this, he moved the tomatoes. But yeah, so he goes and moves the tomatoes onto the top shelf.
In an alternate timeline anyway.
Exactly. And this is proven because his dad, you know, the alibi comes out, his dad gets out of prison. But then Bruce Wayne comes to meet him, and instead of it being Batfleck, it's George Clooney from Batman and Robin. The worst Batman movie.
Yeah.
And he's like, who the fuck are you? And George Clooney is like, you don't recognise me, Barry? I'm Bruce. And it ends on a fucking joke like that. And that's literally the end. That's the end of the movie. Yeah, that is. No, it really is. It just ends with him meeting George Clooney's Batman. Now, that does mean, of course, that we're never going to see this Barry Allen again. One, because this movie's going to bomb hard, so they're never going to make a sequel. But two, we know that George Clooney isn't going to become Batman again. It was just a joke. And now he's trapped in that universe. So this is the last we'll ever see of this version. Good. Fuck you. Two, just shit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Did any of that sound engaging? I just
No,
explained
no.
the entire plot of the movie.
No, I didn't.
No, you don't want to watch that, do you?
No. It sounded, to be fair, it kind of sounded similar on par with how I felt when I was watching Batman vs Superman.
I can understand that for sure.
Yeah.
Batman vs Superman. There's another thing I want to quickly say. Because a lot of people obviously hate The Flash, and I see a lot of people on Twitter being like, they say one or two things. They go, either you're a huge fan of the Snyder universe, the Snyderverse, or you hate James Gunn. One, the first point, I mean, I don't. I think the best one's Man of Steel, and it's only a fucking 6. Like, I don't love the Spider-Verse, the Snyderverse by any means. Two, that must mean you hate James Gunn because he's taken over DC. I don't. I really like James Gunn, but even if I didn't, James Gunn didn't direct this fucking movie. Just because he's now the Kevin Feige of DC. This was being made before James Gunn became head. He has nothing to do with it. The only thing James Gunn has to do with this is that he said you should watch it on his Twitter. That's it. He's not even... I don't even think he's listed as a producer. So the people being like, you must really hate James Gunn if you say The Flash is bad. I don't. But even if I did, he has nothing to do with this movie. So fuck you. Yeah. And again, Snyderverse, I don't give a shit. Best one's Man of Steel is a fucking 6. Batman v Superman is a 4. And Justice League, admittedly, it's alright. Still like a 6.
Meh.
And less of a 6 then. They're both 6s, but it's less of a 6 than Man of Steel.
Yeah.
I don't like it because it's a bad movie.
And on the topic of James Gunn promoting us on Twitter, that brings us on to the next topic.
One of Hector's choices.
Have you seen all the latest things going on surrounding Elon Musk, Twitter, and Mark Zuckerberg?
Is this about the fight or threads?
Both.
Well, I mean, you might as well give me some.
The fight. Have you seen all of the shit about this?
I think it's just a meme, isn't it? They're not actually going to fight, are they?
I mean, I'm not sure, to be honest. Actually, we're at this stage now where I can't differentiate between the memes and real life because now they're merging.
What are you doing?
Because now they're merging together. Because Elon Musk actually posted on his own Twitter account about the fight, and there's videos of Mark Zuckerberg doing like boxing training.
No, I'd be so shocked if they actually.
And then apparently, Elon Musk's mother. Elon Musk's mother,
I heard about this.
like made a statement saying she wasn't going to let Elon Musk do any sort of fights because he wasn't in like the shape to do it. And, he had a heart condition.
Imagine your mum coming out and being like, at the age he is, being like, I'm not letting my son.
And then, not long after this happened, Thread has come out.
Yeah.
Which
is anyone on that?
No, I haven't. But what I do know
Okay.
is that my Instagram feed and I'm in a bunch of random Discord servers full of memes.
Yeah.
It is just full of memes about Thread.
Yeah.
About how Thread is everyone's going to Thread instead of Twitter. I don't know if that's true or if it's all just.
I mean, from what I've heard, it seems more like fucking Reddit than Twitter. It's you because that's why it's called Threads, because it's all about the replying and you post something and you get the little it's like a Tumblr.
Yeah.
Or fucking Reddit more than Twitter.
Yeah.
I think people want it to replace Twitter just because Twitter fucking sucks now.
See, now here's an interesting thing. Does everyone hate Twitter because it actually sucks now, or does everyone hate Twitter just because Elon Musk bought it?
Well, I hate it for both, I'll be honest. But no, it does suck now. You get every tweet I look at the bottom, and the first fucking 20 replies I see will be some dickhead verified account with 4 followers being like, gang, here's a link to my fucking blah blah blah. Or someone just being like, haha, lol, 6 followers.
As somebody who hasn't got Twitter, never has gotten Twitter, I don't know. I feel like there's so much. I mean, something like Instagram.
I always
people on it regarding Instagram, they're never like, oh, there's never a controversy or anything like that. But with Twitter, there's always It's the main reason why I haven't gotten it.
It's because on Instagram, people just post either pictures of themselves or memes, mostly. That's what most of Instagram is, because it's just pictures.
And that's another thing with Twitter. So it has gotten worse. Let me list a few examples. There's this new tweet thing where you can only see a certain amount of tweets a day.
I saw this, actually. The first time that I saw this was that someone made a meme being like, you've read 200 Discord messages.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to view any more buy Nitro to view more Discord messages.
Which makes extra no sense because of how much Elon's upped the advertising on Twitter. I mean, every fucking 6 tweets you see an advert. You want people to see those adverts, don't you, Elon? Therefore, let them scroll endlessly and see as many adverts as you can give them. The second reason why it sucks now is because of the For You tab. I hate this fucking tab.
Why?
These tweets for me, they aren't for me. They're just popular.
Yeah.
And the most popular tweets are the dumbest. They are. I fucking hate the For You tab with a passion. I'll go on.
Give us an example, actually. Let's see.
Let's go on to my For You tab now.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I rarely ever go onto this tab. Most of the times I've gone onto this tab, I've done it by accident and I've been like, whoops. And I fucking switched back to following.
Is it that bad? Is it that different to, like, say, the Instagram For You page?
Well, if we go to my following, because again, my following are shit that I am following, for a reason, Like, The Onion, I find really funny, Google announces most searched term of year is once again nervous breakdown, hate life, hate job, how to get a new life. Like, The Onion's funny. Blumhouse, they do horror movies. James Gunn, fucking Michael Ian Black, who's a comedian. Shit I care about. Let's go on to the For You. If you were only... This is by @HayelKateMay, who I don't follow. She's not verified, which is good for her. If you were to have only seen Adrian Brody through Wes Anderson movies, you'd probably be like, surely this is one of the greatest living actors. He must have dozens of great roles outside of these. I don't give a shit about that. I don't care about Adrian Brody. The second one, @ClickHolebot. I don't want to jinx it by telling the world, but I can't keep this secret any longer. I've had a Starbucks gift card with £12.51 on it for 3 years now. I use it and the balance does not change. I wonder if Starbucks will ever catch on. I have literally I don't even like coffee.
Wait, someone is just... Who gives a fuck?
I know.
How does that have so many likes?
That one, the third one, sure. Biggest bombs in millions loss. Sure, fine. Let's go to this one. @Queerly Autistic. One of my favourite nerdy Titanic facts is that the process of filming the 1997 film actually helped solve a big mystery about the sinking. What happened to the Grand Staircase? I don't care what happened to the Grand Staircase. I don't give a fuck. Why is this for me? I've never searched the Titanic facts on fucking Twitter. Let's go down a little bit more. Best drawing of Clark Kent ever, and it's a picture of the new animated series. Wait, in all caps by the Sunny Side. Wait, the hands, oh my god, look. Fucking cute eye emoji, heart emoji. I haven't even watched this show yet. I don't know if I will. I don't give a shit. What about the hands?
Wait, what about the hands?
What about them?
They're just hands.
Just hands. Why is this for me? Advert. Alright, anyway, this is awkward, and it's the fact that Colleen Ballinger's mum, which is a topic we could have gone into, but I don't care. Miranda's saying she's got controversy. She follows this person on Twitter. @NoIt'sBex with 11.9k followers. Do you notice something here? I don't follow you. I don't give a shit who's following you. I don't give a shit if the mum's following you. Leia Sodhu for American Express. And it's literally a picture of tits. And what does that caption say? You have to laugh at this point. I don't know who you are, Leia Sodhu, and I don't know who @LensCap
Wait, what is this? What is this tweet even for?
Yeah, well, you have to laugh at this point. For what? It's some fucking woman getting her tits out for a photo shoot. I don't give a shit. I don't care. @LensCap, 57.8k followers. He's definitely paid for it because you have to have 1 million to just get it. I don't give a shit. Been watching Spectacular Spider-Man. Sure, I love Spectacular Spider-Man. That's great. But why am I seeing it from you, Nicholas? I don't follow you. I don't care. Anita Johnson. This is iDubbbz's girlfriend.
So obviously what the For You page is now is it shows... I can guarantee what this is is it's just an AI machine learning algorithm
Yeah.
that finds all of the posts that contain
Yeah.
keywords related to posts you like
Yeah.
that are trending.
Yeah, but some of them,
That's probably all it
that I've
is.
even searched, because again, there's a Doctor Who one here. Sure, I love Doctor Who. But this one was, we went past it, but it's literally a post by fucking iDubbbz's girlfriend. That's because a little while ago, when iDubbbz released his apology video, I searched up the term iDubbbz to see what was trending. I'm not following iDubbbz. I'm not following Anissa, but they must be like, oh, he searched up iDubbbz, he likes iDubbbz, give him iDubbbz. I don't like I don't care about iDubbbz. I don't want to see this.
Fallen.
I don't want to see any of this. So I hate... Alright, at Javi_Khoso. Once when I was 12 and didn't know any better, I went into an artist live stream and told them, can you draw faster and finish the artwork? I have to go do my homework in an hour. And she replied to me so nicely too, and she follows me now, but I'll never tell who it is. I don't care who it is, Javi. You have nearly 2K followers and I'm not one of them.
Why is that on the For You page? He's just tweeted something about his life.
I know.
A random person.
And now, let's go through and find the advert, shall we? Advert.
Isn't that an advert?
Probably. Also an advert. Advert. Advert.
Yeah.
I'm not scrolling that fast, by the way. Advert.
Jesus Christ. That is a lot of ads. In fact, that's got to be more than what you get on Instagram.
Yeah, on Instagram you only get a few ads every so often. And every so often, see, the good thing about Instagram is that every now and then an ad will be so funny, I'll actually, unironically send it
in
to
the memes channel.
Yeah, I'll put it in the memes, group chat or something like that, just because it's so hilarious.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that isn't the same with the
not at all. No.
million ads you get hit with.
Yeah. Seriously, the For You tab I despise it. I hate it.
See, I never, and you probably know this, I never got Twitter.
Yeah.
I never really.
Well, you have an account,
Twitter.
but you're inactive on it completely.
I never got it. I never really understood it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I never got what it was about.
Yeah.
I had my Twitter account, but yeah, I just never really saw what you use it for.
Well, that's the thing, because I think I actually have a really good idea of it, which is why I really do believe Twitter is going to die. And the beginning of the end for Twitter was the verification situation. Because here's what people got to understand. The average person on Twitter, and I'm not saying this in a rice gum way, I'm not better than you, I don't give a shit about Twitter, I never post. The average Twitterer is irrelevant. People don't care about that. The reason why people join Twitter are for the celebrities, or for the big pages. Now, you've got the celebrities there, and you've taken away their verification, and you're letting people buy it, and now your feeds... I mentioned how, you'll go into a reply, and the first few will be random shit from verified Twitter accounts. Let's prove that. So this is a thing from Disney, which is a message from Harrison Ford. Admittedly, not a lot of... Only 8 comments. I should have chosen a better one than that. Actually, many of these have barely any comments. What the fuck? Alright, let's go to the James Gunn one. James Gunn announcing that Guardians 3 is there. Verified.
That was a lot of verified people.
Verified. Yeah, that's the thing, because even if there are a few other ones... In fact, I'm going to actually make a bet here. Yeah, 8,222. They're people, because that's what it does. 15 followers, the first one. The first reply to James Gunn has 15 followers. Why? And
he's verified.
And no likes. It's been seen 31 times. Why is that the first reply I'm seeing? Because he's paid for that to happen. He pushes it onto you like a fucking religion. Oh, you want your tweet to be seen first? You should pay £11.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. I
think you described it before, actually. I remember you saying Twitter is about getting the latest updates from people that you're following.
Yeah.
Text updates, like news, kind of like news.
I mainly use it
which
for
you
movie
don't get
shit.
on Instagram.
Yeah,
people don't post quick news updates.
I use it for
Instagram.
movie and TV shit. That's my main thing I use it for, 100%.
So I guess the question is, will Thread?
if enough celebrities, like for example, I don't like her obviously, but if Kim Kardashian left Twitter and joined Threads, a lot of people are going to leave Twitter. I truly believe that. Like if enough celebrities leave, other people are going to leave because that's what they're there for. I really do. I really do believe that. The only reason again I'm on Twitter is because of the news and TV updates. If they stopped doing that, I would leave. It's that simple. You're only on Twitter for what you care about. And when you're throwing so much shit that you don't care about at your viewer, they will eventually get sick.
See, here's the dangerous game that Elon Musk, I think, is playing by buying Twitter. Let's say, for example, he buys Ford, the car company, right? Huge car company. They sell millions of cars every year.
Yeah.
Right? Elon Musk, as everyone knows, he has a very well-known personality. He's more like, do you know who the owner of Ford is? No. No one fucking knows.
Of course I do.
Who?
His name's Henry Ford.
No, he died a long time ago. Who is the current CEO of Ford? No one knows.
Christopher Johnson.
No one fucking knows.
He was born in 1984, Fleet.
But Elon Musk, everyone knows him. He has like an online personality. People hate him. People love him.
Yeah.
He's kind of become like a celebrity.
Yeah.
Right? Let's say he buys Ford. How many people are going to choose to either start using or stop using the products sold by Ford? Probably none. No one really cares if Elon Musk buys Ford, right? But Twitter is 100% all about people and people's opinions and people's... Well, no, that's it. Twitter is all about people's opinions.
And actually, I'm going to quickly throw in another point about that. Whether you agree with it or not, I think it is worth bringing up. When he first joined, was like, free speech, there's going to be nothing off limits on this website, on this social media site. But then just the other week, he releases something being like, we consider the word cis to be a slur, and you'll be banned for using it. Whether you agree with him or not, he's a massive fucking hypocrite.
Yeah.
You just said, when you joined, when you bought it, nothing was off limits, and now you're making the word cis off limits because you consider it a slur. Which, by the way, I think it's a bit of a dumb word. I'll admit that, but it's not a slur.
It's not a slur.
That's fucking ridiculous to say it's a slur.
Yeah. But... Yeah, like, do you understand the point I'm making? Like, if you bought a normal business, no one gives a shit about his online personality. But if you buy a social media company where all of the customers are very interested in, the opinions that everyone has of celebrities, there's actually a high risk that the company could fail because everyone hates or there's too much controversy surrounding Elon Musk.
Yeah.
So him choosing to be more of an online personality, in my opinion, is a really stupid decision. Considering he's just bought a social media company, considering he spent so much money on it.
And you know something else? It's not happening anymore. But when I remember a big period where you remember fucking Grimes, his ex, she was on my For You tab a lot, and I was like, this is bullshit. This is fucked. Imagine if I bought Facebook, and every time you scroll through Facebook, you were seeing posts my mum made. You weren't friends with her or anything. I was just throwing them at you, like, oh, look at.
See, that's a good example, actually. Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg. He doesn't have a current online personality. He's not he doesn't have a celebrity personality. Everyone thinks he's weird.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have a personality. No one really cares about him that much because he's not present. So everyone continues using Instagram and Facebook and no one cares. But as soon as Elon Musk buys Twitter, everyone cares because he's not just a businessman. He's almost like a celebrity at this point, where lots of people either love him or really hate him.
Yeah. No, 100%. I hate the word, but it is. He's become an influencer. You know? And I think, again, sorry to keep bringing him up, but a great example of that. He gives such a huge shit about the daily life and the physical complexes of fucking Elon Musk. Why?
Yeah.
Why? It's just because you think he's funny, I guess. Because he said he posted a meme and you were like, I get it. Like, what else?
See, I think the real reason is because he is active on, like, he has an active presence in general media. Like, imagine if Mark Zuckerberg had an active presence on general media, like television, social media, platforms, whatever, then people would be able to form relevant and, you know, like, current opinions on him. But they can't, because he doesn't do that.
He's not an influencer.
But Elon Musk is constantly doing stuff on social media, TV, general media, so people can and will make opinions.
That's the reason why, like, you know, some of the real life, because I think a lot of people, they say it jokingly, and I'm not going to say I disagree with it being a joke, but he's almost like a supervillain. And you get other famous influencer supervillains, like the Ben Shapiros and the Jordan Petersons. And it's like, there are, again, in the same example as the Mark Zuckerberg is, there are hundreds of people like them. They're just, you're not hearing them.
Yeah.
And Elon doesn't stop talking, essentially. And if you hear someone enough, it's going to stick with you. You know?
If you never speak, then no one can form an opinion of you, so no one cares.
That's why outside of the podcast, I don't say a fucking word to anyone. This is the only time. That's why I talk so much during these. It's the only time.
It's the only time you ever talk. Yeah,
it's how we met.
But in my opinion, that's a very dangerous way to be if you own a social media company.
100%. Yeah.
But, are there any other topical? We used to do that on the podcast where we think about, like, topical. There was one other thing that I want to talk about. The submarine.
Let's talk about the submarine.
Let's talk about the motherfucking submarine. So, as everyone in the world that has access to the internet now knows, there were a group of very rich people who...
Some might even describe them as billionaires.
As billionaires, yeah. 5 billionaires. They get into a rudimentary submarine where basically, I'm assuming, from what I know, the founder of, what was the company called? Aquagates or something like that.
Ocean Gates.
Ocean Gates, that's it. So, like, the actual frame of the submarine was, like, really professional. It was, what was it, built by NASA?
Yeah.
Or
NASA
like,
engineers.
Yeah. Like, it was proper. That was it. The rest of it was homemade.
Yeah.
And they're diving down to the deepest that any people have been, really.
It was like getting bulletproof casing and putting it over a fridge. And just getting in the fridge, you know, like, it's... I mean, I saw... I don't know if it was actual pictures or, like, a representation of what it looked like, but it was just like a tube.
Oh, what the thing looks like? Yeah, no,
It's like a tube, isn't it?
Yeah. Actually, ironically, there are lots of pictures posted in the Discord memes channel. Yeah. Actually, if I scroll up higher.
Should we? I mean.
I think we can get into it. I think it's interesting.
No, I mean, should we get into the meme discussion?
Yeah, I think it's interesting.
Okay, yeah.
I think it's interesting. So.
So
basically, this is it. That's it. That's what it looked like.
No, I mean the inside.
Oh, the inside.
The inside, it was like
the inside.
It was like being inside of a slide, like.
Oh god, yeah. So
5 billion.
We posted lots of memes about this tragedy.
By the way, it was so fucking popular. We posted a load of memes about it in our own private thing, but they were everywhere at that point. It's not as if we made the first fucking submarine meme.
Yeah. They were flooded everywhere. We were just reposting what we were seeing.
We were drowning at the bottom of the ocean.
We were drowning in the memes that they'd created, yeah.
The internet imploded with
one particular person,
who we have named several times, but bleeps,
got very offended by us posting these memes and said that, it's too soon.
It was on the day. They weren't even
dead
yet. They were still... I mean, they were dead, but...
They were dead, but...
We hadn't confirmed they were dead yet.
According to the media, they were still potentially alive, and we were posting these memes. And according to some people, this made these jokes not funny. It made them not okay, because people were dying, or these 5 people were potentially going to die.
It made us insensitive and inhumane.
And in particular, it made the jokes not funny at all.
Yeah.
Which I disagree with.
I don't. Yeah.
A joke is a joke. A joke an event or a situation, yes, a situation can be sad, upsetting, tragic, but it can also be funny at the same time.
100%.
Yeah.
And me, Hector, and Dan, fellow podcast enthusiast, we all got into it with this guy because we really do fundamentally disagree with what he was saying. Now, I'm not gonna. Let's forget Dan's argument, but I'm gonna give mine, and then I think you should give yours. My argument, and I quoted a comedian called Anthony Jeselnik who said something very similar. Especially if you're making a joke on the day of a tragedy, the people involved in that tragedy aren't seeing your joke. If the wife of one of these billionaires, her husband is lost to time and dead now. She is now widowed. She's sitting with her kids grieving. Imagine the scenario. She's sitting with her kids grieving. That's sad. But imagine if she was like, oh. She looks at her phone and goes onto Twitter and sees a meme and she's like, ah. No, she isn't on Twitter right now. And if she is, and I believe this, if she is on Twitter at that moment, she deserves to see those fucking memes. Grieve properly. You've just had a tragedy. Fucking live with it. You
know, one of the wives did do an interview. She didn't seem all that bothered. And I know, people grieve in different ways, but,
And it genuinely, and I gave a example that Anthony Jeselnik did during the Boston Marathon bombing. Which, again, horrible event. Tragedy. On the day it happened, he tweeted out, because he has a habit of doing it on things. And before he tweeted it out, a load of people were like, don't make this joke, don't do whatever you're going to do. So he tweeted out, on days like this, we learn that some lines should never be crossed, especially the finish line. Which, whether you think it's funny, is a greatly formed joke. Clear beginning, you need the context for the setup, but then the punchline, mate, it's a joke. It's 100% a joke. You can't actually look at that with that setup and that punchline and be like, he's being serious. You can't. If you're doing that, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
And he said that on the day. And I did. I got into it with this unnamed man whose name is and I was like, look, why are you so personally invested? Was your dad there? Like, why are you so invested? Everyone who is invested in this tragedy, who's actually been impacted by it, none of them are seeing these memes. And if they're not bothered by it enough to be checking Twitter, then they deserve to see it. Because when something happens like this that's big and public and loud, you've got to expect this sort of reaction. If 9/11 happened today, there would be memes. There would be.
Yeah.
There would be.
I mean, there are.
There are.
To this day.
No, to this day there are, but I'm saying if it happened today, as horrible as it is, there would be some people making memes.
There would be memes
there would be
the
loads.
second.
Exactly.
I mean, actually, one of the funniest things was that within 24 hours of the first piece of news coming out on a Reddit shitposting, on a shitposting subreddit, someone had written a 2-page fan fiction, gay fan fiction, already within 24 hours. That's the world that we live in. But my opinion on it is kind of similar, or like relates to yours, which is that the tragedy is sad, right? And if you're someone who knows these people or is intimately connected to the event, then naturally you're not going to find it funny, specifically because you're really upset by the event. It'd be like if someone's family member died in slightly humorous circumstances, if you made a joke directly to them about it, they wouldn't find it funny.
Yeah.
Because they're currently grieving and really upset and angry. Yeah. They wouldn't find it funny at all. All that they would see is that you're insulting them personally. However, none of us knew these people.
Yeah.
None of us knew these people. So all of us here have no attachment.
Believe it or not, none of those billionaires were in our Discord server.
Yeah, exactly. None of them have any attachment to us at all. So all that remains is a nameless setup, which might as well be hypothetical. The setup of the joke might as well be hypothetical because none of us know these people, and the setup is funny.
Yeah,
it is humorous. Yeah. Whether you find it hysterical or mildly humorous, it is mildly humorous. At one
point, in order to try and illustrate this, because you explained the hypothetical, you were like 5 billionaires in a makeshift submarine, 4,000 meters at the bottom of the ocean. That is funny, and the unnamed man whose name is said no, it's not. So in order to try and illustrate that it is, I went, well, how about this? 5 billionaires in a homemade submarine at 4,000 meters at the bottom of the ocean walk into a bar.
And now, with the context, that makes that actually really funny.
Yeah, because like you've got to understand, like even
see that is the opening joke to a comedy stand-up, to like a stand-up comedy set.
Exactly, yeah. like and he got so sensitive about it. And another thing, because like for example, I've found out about a lot of celebrity deaths through this one recurring meme on a Facebook shitposting group for Nathan For You. Because there's a bit in Nathan For You where he tries to help a boy understand the death of his dog, and there's a video of the dog where he's going, I'm dead now, so sorry I died. And they'll post that meme with the dead celebrity's face on with the caption, I'm dead now, so sorry I died. And that's how I found out about like 90% of celebrity deaths in the last year. Even ones I care about. Like, genuinely ones where I've seen it and been like, oh, fuck, he died? I've never gotten upset about the meme.
Yeah.
The tragedy is, the death is sad.
Yeah.
The meme is funny. That's a funny way of finding out too. That's even funny because I read it, I go, oh no, he died. But then I'm like, it's a funny way of finding out,
Yeah. Yeah. I think people get too, I don't know, they get too personally invested in things.
Yeah, that's the problem. When you have autism, you can't separate these two things, and I think the problem was he just saw it that way, and that was it. It's not funny, it's sad, that's it.
Yeah. And our arguments were just ad hominem responses, and we're better than that,
Yeah. In fact, we ruined the memes channel. He can never go back.
Yeah, he's done.
Yeah, he's done.
But yeah, we got into a huge argument about it, and in the end, we kind of had to agree to disagree. But then it comes to the point where because I asked him outright, I said, because he was going like, no, it's too soon. We don't even know if they're dead. Blah, blah, blah.
When is not too soon?
Exactly. I was like, okay, what's the limit? Is it 2 weeks? Is it a year?
Yeah.
When does it become funny? Because you're making it out like any tragedy can't be joked about. Are you saying you've never seen a meme where someone is like, oh, da, 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 and suddenly goes really serious and goes, oh my god, another plane's hit the second tower. You're saying me you see that this year, 2023, and go, that's disgusting. That's too soon.
Do you know what the worst part is? He then goes on to make jokes about gay people being raped.
Yeah.
Exactly. Which arguably is worse because that affects more people. So more people are going to be upset by that.
Yeah, and that's another thing I brought up to him. I was like, look, what makes these 5 billionaires so fucking special? People die every day. Are you not allowed to joke about any death? Because any death you can joke about has happened. Oh, I'm going to kill myself. Yeah, people kill themselves every day. How dare you make fun of suicide?
Yeah.
Kill yourself. like seriously, I mean, not to quote iDubbbz when he was trying to defend the N-word, but either all of it's okay or none of it is.
Yeah.
Like that, while his use of that for his argument was dumb, it's a great statement.
And also dark humour is inherently funny.
Yeah.
There's always going to be that something you shouldn't laugh about will always forever be funny.
Yeah.
Because you shouldn't be laughing about it. It's that classic, I don't know, classroom thing of, oh, you're not allowed to laugh, so everyone laughs. Yeah. That kind of attitude.
Exactly.
That's because laughter does kind of come from shock, where like someone tells you a setup and then the punchline is not what you expected, and that's what makes it funny.
Yeah.
That's what initiates a laugh response.
It's like how nobody expects 5 billionaires to be controlled by a homemade sub.
With a Logitech controller.
Yeah, with a Logitech
they hopped
controller.
into the doohickey and then travelled to the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah. They went into Uncle Ben's garage and grabbed the thingamabob and the doohickey, shoved it together and then put it under the ocean. Yes.
They travelled to where the pressure is, what was it, like 15,000 pounds per square inch.
And then you were seeing memes, like some of the memes are under not like there was a meme I saw of some guy just on a speedboat being like, if my mans was in that submarine. That's just funny. That's really funny. Because even outside of the submarine thing, the idea that guy could do anything, even that just has to elicit a laugh. Yeah. They're so far down. Yeah. That guy on the speedboat couldn't do shit.
I don't know, if Ryan Reynolds was on that submarine and it's like Aquaman just
exactly
diving down into the ocean.
Like you have to laugh at the absurdity of it sometimes. Yeah. Like there's a comedian I really love called Tom Segura. And there's a bit in a stand-up comedy special he does that when I first watched it killed me because he's telling a story about a guy he doesn't like and he ends it with, and that guy's dead now. That guy killed himself.
I think I've seen that.
And then he's just like, nah, I'm joking. But the complete left turn of it is because if that was true, obviously it'd be sad, but it becomes so absurd because he's just talking about like, oh, this guy was boring me with this story. I came in and I was like, how you doing, man? And he actually took it seriously and he was like, well, I'm going to go see my sister this weekend. Just a completely boring story, and to end that with, and that guy's dead now. it becomes funny. Like, it doesn't matter whether or not it's, you got to take the realness of suicide out of that sort of joke. The absurdity is what makes it funny. The idea that because he had this boring conversation with the guy went off, realised he was boring and killed himself. Yeah. Like, you see, like, yeah. Speaking to you directly now. I'm going to censor your name for the rest of this episode, but not this time. Fucking, you got to understand, you don't have to find it funny for it to be a joke. And just because you don't find it funny doesn't mean it isn't. I don't find Amy Schumer funny. She's still a comedian. I can't actually say she isn't funny. I just don't find her funny. I'm sure there's some people out there who really do. Otherwise she wouldn't be so rich and popular. Yeah. It is what it is. Deal with it. I don't find Friends, the show, to be all that funny. I'd much prefer Seinfeld. Friends is still one of the most popular comedies of all time. Almost like I'm not the judge, neither are you.
I have a theory about the missing submarine. A blue whale can grow up to 30 metres long and is quite gigantic. While Titan might seem attractive to the whales, it may have wanted to mate. A blue whale's penis can become gigantic, and with it, he has fucked up the glass. Either water leaked in and they drowned, or the whale's penis got stuck in the sealed hole. Due to the pressure and pressure difference, the penis got sucked in, sealing the hole. However, at the same time, the pressure difference sucks out all of the sperm, up to 1,500 litres of sperm, and they drown in sperm. I'm not sure how pressure works with whale penises. It was just a thought, but let's say the sperm doesn't ejaculate and the whale's penis seals the hole and gets stuck due to the pressure. The whale panics and swims away, making it impossible to find the boat, and they run out of oxygen.
And you would say that's disgusting.
Okay, now this was the one that I was talking about. This was posted within 24 hours of the first news. Fan fiction about the Titanic billionaires having gay sex.
And there we were. To give him more credit, I see there, he's even got a trigger warning.
Yeah, it's got a trigger warning.
Yeah. Kind.
There we were, 2 miles below the surface. How long is
this before you read it out? That's too long.
That's too long. It's not that long. I can skip through it. There we were, 2 miles below the surface of the ocean. I can't believe I let my stupid dad bring me onto this goddamn tin can. Henry had killed him about an hour ago. God, it was horrific. We were running out of air. Paul Henry Nargelot was stressed out. You motherfuckers damn well get me out of here, he yelled. This was directed at Stockton Rush. Stockton, what a dumb name. Just like how J.K. Rowling would name a billionaire. Like I should care. I'm about to die anyways. You signed the goddamn waiver, Henry. You can't blame me. Stockton shot back. That stupid waiver. Ugh, we should have never signed it. God, it had death written 3 times on it from the first page. We should have expected this. Hamish began crying. He hated conflict. My dad jumped in. You two need to calm down. Calm down? You want me to calm down? I'll show you calm. Then he took my dad down. Henry's hand around his neck. Creak. Dad was dead. You murderer, I yelled. Henry and Stockton are still arguing, and Hamish was still crying. They were wasting oxygen. Suddenly, Henry and Stockton began kissing. God, I had a hard on. Why was this hot?
Okay.
Stockton got down on his knees and pulled down Henry's pants. Henry had gone commando. Stockton started licking him.
Okay,
Henry's erect cock
I do feel
was
like
hairy.
I do feel like we could stop that.
It goes on.
I know it goes on. I can see.
Oh my god, you were going to read all
I
of
know,
that?
exactly.
Oh
My kitten stuttered. I want to ride you. I began blushing and laid down.
But-
hell no.
That's a great way to end it. But yeah, I'm glad you brought that one up because yeah, I mean, just if you're
What,
not
the gay sex fanfiction?
no the submarine topic.
Oh, okay.
Because my last message about it is this: if you get really upset, if you hear about a tragedy and you think, "Oh man, it would really upset me to see someone make fun of this," stay off the fucking internet, dummy.
Yeah,
And that's it. That's
it, yeah.
Anyone else got any other topics?
I don't think so.
Don't believe so.
You haven't done any. You haven't delivered a single topic. Do a quick one. We can talk about 2 minutes.
A quick topic.
Oh my god.
Oh, actually, I do have a quick topic we could talk about.
Go on, man.
What the hell is going on in France right now?
I have no idea.
What is going on?
They're
are you
like
following?
rioting and like, but then
Yeah,
they're always
they're-
rioting. Actually,
They are rioting all the time, but this time, for some reason, there are so many more memes about it.
Baguette is
So many memes. You'll have like Batman pulling up to
I've
France.
seen that.
I- You know, there was a picture that I saw. I thought it was fake at first, but somebody in France at the moment, they'd rigged up like this lighting rig or something at the top of the building, and they'd put the bat signal on it. I will find this picture for you. And when I saw it the first time, I almost didn't think it was real, but France bat signal.
France's riots are following the George Floyd's playbook.
Yeah, basically in France, there was this 17-year-old boy that was pulled over, and instead of asking them, "Oh, like show me how it basically escalated, and they just shot him, point blank.
They have guns in France?
They do, yeah.
I didn't know that.
And then a lot of people were angry about it.
I can
Understandably so. Yes, this is the France back. See.
Imagine being the guys that shot the 17-year-old, knowing that they've just destroyed the country.
Yeah, so this is all happening in France right now.
This is from the Dark Knight. That's already on.
Yeah, it's from the Dark Knight.
No, it's not. It's from Batman: Arkham Asylum.
I don't know. That always really throws me because I know there's in France loads of riots and everything going on, but for some reason this time it's picked up way more traction.
I can deliver one last story, which is it ties into the submarine thing of making fun of a tragedy. So do you guys remember the London riots that happened, I want to say in like 2012, 2011?
Oh, probably not.
No, I don't remember.
Alright, so yeah, there was huge riots in London. Like people like being like fucking beaten up and shops being destroyed and shit.
What over?
I don't know.
Oh.
Do you want me to find out?
No. If it's not relevant to the story.
It's not relevant. All you need to know is these were happening, and at the time we were in Enfield.
Yeah.
Because we lived in Enfield for a while.
Yeah.
And so we'd already moved here, but I was in Enfield with my nan and granddad, and my mum was here. And at some point, I was sitting with my nan, granddad, and my aunt, and my aunt was like, "Hey, I've got a really great idea," and we were like, "What is it?" And they were like, "Just go with it, go with it." She calls up my mum. My mum answers, "Hello," and my aunt immediately starts going, "Oh, I'm gonna have to censor her name just for this." Buddy's mum. They're here. There are people outside. They're trying to get in. My mum's like, "What? What's going on? Oh my god! They're gonna kick down the." Quickly hung up, and me and my nan and granddad are bawling over laughing. And she was like, "All right, I'm gonna call him back, Bradley. I want you to start banging on the wall. Nan, go to the other side of the room, start screaming."
Oh my god!
So about 30 seconds, a minute goes past, we call her back, my mum answers immediately. In the background, my nan's screaming, I'm banging on a fucking door, and Helen's like, oh my god, no, I can't call. My granddad, who wasn't involved at this point, suddenly shouts, you get out of my fucking house! Hangs up again. At this point, we're all destroyed laughing. You can tell on the phone my mum is terrified.
Oh my god.
And we realise, and we're like, oh my god, oh, that's so funny. How long should we keep it going on? And eventually we're like, she might be calling the police right now, to be fair. So we immediately call her up and we're like, don't worry, we're joking. And obviously my mum at first was very angry, but eventually she starts laughing really hard. She's like, that's really goddamn funny. Like, that was happening during a riot where that chance was an actual possibility. My mum could have easily gotten butthurt and been like, fuck you all. That's disgusting. But no, she understood how fucking funny that was. And it is.
See, David would have been offended to his core, even though he doesn't know you or your family.
Yeah. But for real, if my family can make a joke like that during a riot, where we're in, like again, in Enfield, in London, that could have actually happened.
Yeah. And
even my nan and even my granddad, who wasn't involved, immediately realised, no, right, this is funny. Get out of my fucking house! Like, for real, I will never forget that, because that was just so fucking funny, you know? And we used to do jobs, like, at one point, my nan and my mum went to bingo, and one of my other aunts was home with granddad, and granddad loves to sleep on the couch, and she was like, I've got a really good idea. And she got a bottle of ketchup and did, like, some fake blood on my granddad. And they came in, and my aunt immediately was like, oh my god, is that the ambulance? Oh my god, it's you guys. Oh, thank god. He fell over, he's hit his head, he's old, he's hit his head. And my granddad is just like, he's on the sofa because she told him to, and he's like, And I don't know if you guys know this about me, I'm great at fake crying. I go upstairs to kind of hype myself, and now I come down in tears, and I immediately go and hug my mum, and I'm like, is he gonna make it? Like, you got to appreciate jokes like that. It might be scary.
I think there's something about just making light about like bad situations.
Exactly.
That's just funny.
Especially if, again, us making fun of those billionaires, it doesn't affect them. They're already in quite a bad situation. Again, I said it to David. If one of them billionaires is down there being like, alright, we're running out of air, going to implode in 5 minutes. Look at this fucking meme I found. You deserve it at that point. No, that joke about the riots my family made doesn't do shit. It doesn't hurt anyone. It gives you a quick scare. It's basically a jump scare and then you're back to normal. You know. If anything, the only way it could have hurt is if we did get attacked, and then we actually called her during it, and she was like, "You're not getting me twice." And that was the last word she said to us before we died.
That would have been actually.
Oh, no. You didn't.
I did.
Oh, you're such a fucking dickhead every time.
How?
All right, we gotta go because I had to spill a very stainable drink.
Yeah. Quick! We need hot water and a cloth.
Oh, fucking hell! All right.
How is it?
Yeah, sorry.
Every single time.
It's because it was right next to my face.
Every single.
We unironically have to end it here. So thank you for listening, and catch you next time.